Wholeness, beautiful beings, welcome to Notes of Nara. This is Naja Rashida here, and happy October! Woo! Yes, I am really very much excited for this season. October, November, December. My birthday month is in there, and I'm just really excited. Something about uh, fall, winter 2025. There's something really, I feel like, very enriching, very powerful, mysterious, magical, and just things are moving and shifting in so many different ways on a much deeper level for me. And so, with the beginning of this month, October 1st to October 31st, we're going to talk about the topic of self-worth. So, if you're one that struggles with self-esteem, insecurity, lack of self-confidence, low self-worth, low value, just very low frequency energies or spirits that we attach ourselves to or attach or themselves to us, right? If you're one that's suffering through that, this month will be the month to alchemize that type of experience that you're going through. This is the month for that. October is an amazing month. I love October. I love fall, winter. I love all of the seasons, but there's something that's so transformational and deep about this upcoming month in November and December. So self-worth. I have been wanting to really get into this topic for quite some time, for a while, like several months. And this, I feel, because of the inner work and energy healing that I'm doing with myself, I'm so excited to share my insights with you. So today's topic on worth or worthy. Your value doesn't need to be explained to anyone. Your value does not need to be explained to anyone. You do not need to explain yourself to anyone when it comes to your worth, your value, your love, your energy. If you find yourself going above and beyond, over-explaining, over-communicating, just overdoing, over-giving, over, I'm over it. All right, this is coming from someone, and this is again directed specifically for those who have the attributes of the empath. Empaths we are more prone to low self-esteem, low self-worth, no boundaries. We don't express our emotional needs to ourselves in a healthy way. Very unhealthy. We can fight everyone's demons. We can fight everyone else's demons. We're very equipped for that, but we don't know how to face our own. We don't know how to integrate our own. And I find that with low self-worth, that's a big demon. That's a big one. And demons are not evil. They are our teachers. They are fragmented parts of our own consciousness that are screaming for unification with the whole that we are. We are wholeness. Okay? So yes, have you ever found yourself overdoing it, overgiving, just really going above and beyond to prove your worth to someone? Let me prove to you that I have a right to exist. Let me prove to you that my love is valuable. Let me prove to you that my work ethic, my productivity is of use to you. We've all done it with our parents first, with our friends for approval from them, from our employers, from our lovers, our people closest to us, to society, cultural acceptance, right? Please see my worth. Please see me. Please see me. We all want to be seen. But we first must learn how to see ourselves. We must learn how to see ourselves. And that's not always a pretty process. Sometimes you have to learn very, very, very difficult, uncomfortable lessons, right? It's in the lessons. It's in the experience that we slowly begin, to integrate this broken sense of self. if I don't have this job, I'm not worth anything. If I'm not making this amount of money, I'm not worth anything. If I don't have this type of relationship, I'm unworthy. I'm unworthy of this. I'm unworthy of that. I'm unworthy of happiness, of abundance, and of joy because why? Right? This is a script we often tell ourselves subconsciously, and thus it continues to manifest and mirror itself back to us to confirm this fragmented, broken a belief, right? This fragmented, broken version of ourselves, and it's very sad. And I'll get a little personal. Growing up, I I mentioned in a previous video, very good at fighting other people's demons, very good at taking on the emotional burden. But what caused it became a big hindrance for me, right, was I was emotionally stunted in the sense that I could not discern my own emotions from myself to another. I thought whatever I was feeling was mine. I owned it. And then I got to the awareness, right? Through a couple of spiritual awakenings I've had on my path. I'm like, oh, okay. So these aren't my feelings, right? And these are their feelings. But what do I do? And for many years, I didn't know what to do with it. I just knew, okay, I'm feeling these feelings. These aren't my feelings. These are projected from something outside of myself. All right. And now I'm actually feeling my feelings for the first time. But what do I do? Then the next step, right? So you have ignorance, then you're aware, and then you can alchemize, right? And I'm at this stage where I'm learning to alchemize energy, my own energy, and energies that don't belong on me. I have to learn how to process and alchemize programs that have no business doing anything in my existence anymore, that I've outgrown, that I'm expanding beyond, okay? And worthiness is a really, really, really big one. And so on this path, currently where I'm at with improving my self-worth and sense of self and in discernment and alchemizing energy, okay? Because when you have low worth, or low self-esteem, you have to beg. You find yourself begging for validation. You find yourself begging for approval, begging for acceptance. My health was tanking before the summer of 2025. Okay, I was just going above and beyond, trying to say, look at me, look how hard I can work, look how loyal I am. And all the while, I'm betraying my own heart. I'm disloyal to myself. And you have to wake up. I say this to myself every day now. Today, I choose myself. I choose myself today. And this is crucial for wounded empaths out there that have chosen the path of self-mastery. I'll say it again. I said this in a previous video. It's not our job to save the world. Empaths have tremendous amount of superpowers that are often misused, misguided, unused, unawakened, dormant. And your hypersensitivity, right, is a gift. But when you have low self-worth, for an empath, low self-worth, low self-esteem, when you look at yourself like you have no value unless someone confirms, unless someone validates, it is a miserable, miserable way to exist. It's very, very sad. For example, we've all been there. We've all gotten our hearts broken several times. Okay? And yes, probably broken a few hearts too. All right? I'm not perfect. No one's perfect. But all the while, we all know, and, as adults watching, my content, we've all been there. and that process of having to, it's almost like your ego has to die so many times. You have to be humbled by the consequences of your choices that you've made so many times for you to finally wake up and realize your worth. It takes a realization, right? But now that I'm like, okay, I'm learning how to alchemize. I'm learning how to make myself feel significant, even when those that look upon me, I've become insignificant in the eyes of others. When you feel that you have become insignificant in the eyes of another, do not allow that to dictate your worth. I'll make another video on that because that's so important. It's like if your wife of 20 years left you out of the blue, or you're dumped by your company after working there for 10 or 15 years, or your business partner betrays you and steals thousands and thousands of dollars, right? Or, it's betrayal. You feel betrayed in a way, and then that dictates your worth. You're like, oh, well, maybe I am truly nothing. I am worth nothing then. And let me tell you, from someone who's gotten her heart broken multiple times, from not just from lovers or friends, but also professionally, many different areas of my life where heart gets wounded, okay? I will tell you, after a while, it doesn't make each experience, I wouldn't say was easier than the one before. I will say how you handle and alchemize the experience makes you that much stronger. You begin to study your own patterns of how you deal with disappointment and betrayal and just being discarded, ignored, abandoned. These are core childhood Psych 101 like issues where it's a deep, old stuff, right? Unhealed stuff that shadow self likes to protect and guard at all costs. And once you gain access to the shadow self, then that shadow self can be like, okay, here's one. How will you handle low self-esteem? How will you handle low self-worth? How will you handle lack of confidence? How will you handle this insecurity? And it is our duty to ourselves, we owe to ourselves, to take that piece of gem, that jewel, that fragmented, broken part of our consciousness, and to alchemize that back into wholeness, into completion. And it takes work. It takes getting hurt. It takes going through some amount of pain and suffering. It doesn't have to be that way. No, it doesn't. But it's human nature to go through, the journey. Like the hero's journey, you got to go through trials and tribulations to finally realize that it all starts with you. It just full circle. When I look back in my choices that I've made that have in a way dictated my self-perception on how I valued myself and my sense of self-worth, when I look back, I regret nothing. I regret absolutely nothing. Without each and every single moment, big or small, I wouldn't be able to see what I'm seeing within myself now. I wouldn't be able to fully embody myself at this moment if I looked back in the past versions of myself with bitterness, with anger, with victimhood mentality. These are things that still to this day may bubble up, but my awareness has shifted how I perceive myself and my value and my worth. to have to beg someone to look at me, see what I can bring. Let me prove to you. Let me prove my worth. Let me show you what I can do. Let me show you, let me demonstrate, let me tell and explain to you. Let me break down a whole PowerPoint of the value I can bring to your life. If you find yourself giving a whole lecture of why you're great, whether that's to an employer, business partner, a lover, a friend, a family member, a community, like a friend group, you have to go above and beyond to convince them that you're worth something. That's a no. Step back, step down, get out, just stop. Stop. You need to hit pause, delete, get out. You should never have to do that. This is something that I'm currently, it's one thing to be like, oh yeah, I know about having a sense of worth and having self-worth and, high self-esteem and confidence and, and becoming one with your insecurities. It's one thing to know. It's another thing to embody and to actually feel a truth. And this is a truth about myself that I've had to come to terms with as of late. And has it been an easy process? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. No. Is it ongoing? Yes. When you observe something like a wounded self-worth, and how you perceive yourself, and it's a broken, fragmented part of yourself that you didn't really, you knew the wound was there, but you were like, I'll take care of that later. I don't know how to take care of this, so let me put that back on the shelf. But when it's time for you to fully integrate back at this parcel of your consciousness back into you, ooh, yeah, it's so empowering. I feel on fire. I feel like a good fire. Like, I feel more clear with this truth about myself. It has nothing to do. I'm not going to say nothing to do with other people, because those people brought gifts. Each an individual person and each specific event and moment that brought me to my knees, that murdered my ego, that shattered illusions, right? That I was feeding into the illusion of what I wanted and not what was, really was. Those were gifts, and it brought everything together. So I can't say I did it all on my own. No, not in the least. Deepest gratitude for each and every one of those experiences. Do not beg for love. You don't need to do that. Don't beg for acceptance. Don't beg for approval. I think I thrived in the arts so well because it was like I could express the most inner, vulnerable, powerful parts of myself through creativity and get praise for it. Not because I just wanted the spotlight on me, because naturally I've always been very reserved and quiet and to myself, an introvert, extrovert, right? And performance gave me that outlet to just be something not to become, but to actually be myself. And when I was allowed to be myself, the approval that I got from singing on stage, performing on stage, playing instruments on stage, acting and wearing costumes and everything, the approval did something for me. It said, yes, you're doing a great job. Yes, this is good. Yes. Because I was so very much tied to, for a long time, up till recently, guys. I have to admit, I'm not making these videos just because it seems like I got it all together. Far from it. I am a walking experiment. I'm figuring it out just like you, and accepting things, letting go things, all of that. But I come to realize that one of my biggest wounds as a wounded empath in the past, because I'm speaking in past tense, because I no longer feel this void anymore, but I would tie my value to how people would perceive me. Growing up Muslim in predominantly white Christian America, okay, in the 90s, early 2000s, that was difficult, right? It was a very challenging for me. And so that wearing the hijab and following those, traditions and those rules, following that path at the time, it was I felt protected and guarded, but I also guarded myself to a point where I couldn't hear my own voice. I could only hear the voices of other people and their projections. And how people perceive Muslims at the time. I'm using this as an example. How people perceive Muslims at the time around 2001, 9/11. It was not a great time. So I dimmed my light. I watered myself down. I kept my eyes low, kept my voice very quiet, did what I was asked to do, and no more. I didn't challenge. I didn't speak up for myself. I didn't advocate for myself. And it would take out the religious part of it. When it comes to empaths, that's what we do. We follow the rules, don't question anything, and be present for everyone else. You need me, for example, goodness, to prove my worth to another person. You need me, I'm there. Friends will call me in the middle of the night. I'm in an emergency. I drop everything, I go. A lover wants to talk to me anytime he wants. I stop what I'm doing and I make myself super over available. A job says, hey, we need you to pick up this project and that project and this project and that project. I said, okay, I'm showing up to this event. I'll go to every single one. No matter how emotionally exhausted I was, psychologically pressed I was, my high blood pressure, my health, lack of sleep, didn't matter. I got to meet this deadline. I got to show up for this person. I got to show up for this man in this way and deal with it in it was so unhealthy. Like when I look back at the old version of myself, this broken part of myself that is now whole, it's in the process of integrating. I'm looking back, I'm like, wow, how unhealthy. Wow, how imbalanced. And I look at it, not with disgust, but with love. Like I've come a long way. And I felt this very strongly during the eclipses that took place in September. That eclipse it's ongoing for between 4 to 6 months. It's ongoing. And I finally feel free from the prison that I built for myself, that I agreed to, that was projected onto me, part of my environment. And I said, yep, this is it. This is the way. This is how I'm going to love. I'm always going to have to seek approval. I'm always going to have to prove my worth, prove my value, prove my value to someone. I'm going to have to beg. Oh, breadcrumbs? Don't get me started. Don't get me started on breadcrumbing. Hey, Naja, here. That should be enough for you. Take it easy. And I would agree. Yeah, no, that's fine. Oh, hey, are you wanting us to pay you a little bit more? Oh, no. I don't want to be a bother. I'll take that amount. When I look back at the things that I've done and how I conducted myself because I believed I wasn't worthy of it, I didn't want to be a bother. I don't want to be an inconvenience. It's big. This is not a small little thing. This is very big for me, and maybe very big for most empaths out there. Insecurities, not too much. I don't struggle with them too much. I have them. They're there, but they're not the dominating factor in my life. Because I'm one that you live courageously. You love with all of your being. You create with all of your being. You live life. And I can say that with such vigor because I've watched people die in front of me while I'm trying to save them. Talking about my time at working at hospital, my medical experience together is about 4 years, over 4 years of my life. So recently, it was 2023 to 2024. And so seeing that multiple deaths that year, like that really, when it comes to insecurity, it's like, okay, but you soon will be dead. Like, it's not something you want to just, I'm too scared. And empaths, we're so scared of our own power because we don't want to hurt anyone's feelings. We put everyone's feelings above our own. We put our worth, we shit on our own self, pretty much. We shit on ourselves. And we're wondering, what's that smell? That's a horrible way to put it, but that just came to mind. It's like we just sit in our own crap. And we're wondering why people keep giving us crap. They keep just giving us shit here. Oh, because they can see it. They know exactly whether it doesn't, and I'm not talking about just romance. I'm talking about career path, all of it. Family. They know. They can smell the crap you're sitting in. And they're like, we're asking for roses. Give me roses, please. Can I have roses? I just want roses. Give me roses to show me that you care, to show me that you love me, that you appreciate my hard work at this job, please. And they're looking at you and you're sitting in your own crap. And they're like, oh, well, if she's sitting in her own crap, why do I have to put any more effort into this? Let me just give her some of mine. Because I don't want, empaths, we take on people's crap, right? They're like, I don't want my crap, so I'm just going to give it to her so she can alchemize it in. There you go. And we're like, these aren't roses. This isn't what I wanted. This isn't what I deserve. I'll take it. And we just take on more crap. Like, that's not even ours, but it's like a dirty diaper. We just like sitting in it, wondering why things smell like crap. Wondering why, and it attracts more flies. It attracts flies, fleas, like, ugh. And it's not until you get so tired of, it's awareness. It's just, you just get so tired. You're like, what's that smell? Why does it smell so bad? You're like, oh God. Oh my God. Oh my God. I'm sitting in my own crap. And then you learn to alchemize and you clear it up. You change your clothes. You remove the garbage. Fire energy, right? You purify yourself. You learn to purify. You learn to cleanse. You learn when to. You use your discernment. And over time, you're like, I like this feeling. I like feeling clean. Okay, I still got my shit. I still got my crap I got to work through. That's good. I love that too. I love myself. Yes. You know what? I'm going to go buy myself a dozen roses. That's what I'm going to do. Because I know what I'm worth. So why not give a prize to myself, right? And then when you go through that first round of awakening, what tends to happen is people approach you because they can feel the shift. They're like, ooh, Ooh, you look different. You seem different. Oh, I see you're not sitting in your own shit anymore. You're not sitting in your own crap. Nice. Can I have one of your roses? And you're like, oh, I actually just bought this for myself, but please. And now you can see that they're sitting in their own poo-poo. And so you're like, okay, here's a rose. You give them a rose. They go away. They come back. Can I have another rose? You're like, well, I got this for me. This is for, but here you go. Give another rose. Then you give another rose. Then you give another rose. And then you give another rose. And all your roses are gone. And now you're like, I got that for myself. What? Oh, crap. That's kind of this where I'm at right now is, oh, crap. I'm giving very important parts of myself, and I have for a really, really, really long time. And now I'm like, oh, not everyone deserves your rose. When you know what you deserve, you don't have to beg. It's given to you. When you know what you deserve, when you know what you're worth, you don't have to overdo it. You don't have to over communicate. Either the other values your value, or they completely don't see it. And that's okay. It's not your job to prove your worth to anyone. That should be through your actions, consistency of what you create in life. It is an essence that you carry. You walk into a room, people can just feel it. You don't have to say, look at me. Look how much I can love you. What? No. 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 And I know that there's a term people coin, the whole high value man, high value woman. I'm not talking about what's on social media. This is deeper. This is goes against the material wealth thing, because I know that there's I'm a high value man, a high value woman if you do this and do that. No. This is essence. This is spirit. This is the unseen. Because you can get all the glitz and all the glamour, all the money, all the material wealth, all that's false. It's what's within you. It's what's inside. Then the flies stop coming after a while. They stop. They will stop. Because now you have yet another bouquet of roses. And you're very mindful now. Because now you're like, instead of asking for a rose, you're looking, where's your bouquet of roses that you got yourself? Where are your flowers? People come to you empty-handed, leave them be. Some people are brutal. You know, they burn bridges. I don't. I've learned not to do that. I don't. There's no need for that. It's all energetic. You don't need to block anybody. That's really silly. Very immature. You don't need to block anybody to prove a point. That just says how needy and hurt you are, really. Unless it's toxic and unhealthy and you're not safe. Do what you need to do. But, it's all spiritual. It's very metaphysical, quantum things that you can't necessarily see with the naked eye. But may this message find you well and whole. I'm really excited to get into this topic because I want to talk about insecurities and how to, become more secure. I want to talk about lack of confidence and how to strengthen your solar plexus and your ability to focus and be driven and these are parts of yourself that need you. And relationships that we have with people, professional, personal, romantic, platonic, they're just mirroring back to you what you need to give to yourself. They are just reminders. They're not the ones that come in to complete, because guess what? When that husband pulls away, that lover pulls away, that job pulls away, that family member passes on and pulls away, what are you left with? Yourself. What are you left with? The lessons and memories that you built with those connections that are just a guide back to yourself. Right? Again, I need to put a disclaimer below because I just want to make sure y'all know I'm not a licensed therapist. I'm not an expert on anything. I self-initiate, so I'm not initiated by any external spiritual group or anything like that. I'm just me. And this is just a digital portal where I share my insights and intuitiveness and magic and most importantly, love and presence. And I'm perfectly imperfect. I don't have it all together, but I feel whole regardless of all of that. So may we journey through October together. More is to come. So excited. Whatever I have time for. And don't worry, I'm not posting every single day. That's absolutely no. That's a no. I'm just sticking to my Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And music videos will increase for sure. I'm really excited about that. And another big project I'm wrapping up, I've been talking about for weeks. I'm excited for it anyway to share for those of you who would be interested. But thank you so much for being present. Thank you so much for your engagement. Thank you so much for being here and for sharing how my words are helping you. Because I figured this. Another reason why I make these videos, and I made a comment a couple days ago about this. There's 9 billion souls, approximately. 9 billion souls on this planet. And, I look at it this way. We're meant to share. And I feel that there's value in the words that I share with you all. It will be valuable to someone, whether that's 1 or 9 billion, it doesn't matter. But that's why I do this. Because there's someone like me, like you, and I'm using this digital tool as a way to connect and just to let you all know you're not alone in this. You may feel alone, but we're not alone. It's a dichotomy. It's weird. We are alone, but we're not alone. Thank you so much. Take care.